Caution, you are about to enter the OpeBanwo unplugged and unscripted no spin zone. In this zone, there's no spin, there's no fear, there are no favors. We call out the goats, we celebrate the lions, we expose the Ojelus, we honor the Oshelus. Politics, economy, business, sports, life. If it matters to Nigeria, we tackle it head on. Raw truth, brutal honesty, zero apologies. This show is not for the faint-hearted. Welcome to OpeBanwo Unplugged and Unscripted No Spin Zone. You enter at your own risk. Let's go. All righty. Hope you enjoyed that intro. Today is the day that we want to talk about something major that we have not spoken about in a long time. So welcome again to OpeBanwo Live, Unplugged, and Unscripted, where we fear nobody and say it like it is. Today, I want to talk about a matter that touches our identity as a people. Today, I'm coming for a sickness that has eaten deep into our national soul, a madness that sees Nigerians wear Arsenal jerseys with pride, cry over Liverpool defeats, fight over Manchester United. Yet, we walk past empty stadiums in their own countries without a second glance. Our politicians, our billionaires, even our pastors worship at the altar of British and Spanish football, while Nigerian football, once the pride of Africa, bleeds and quietly dies in the gutter. Today is that day. On OpeBanwo Live, Unscripted, we're going to talk about it. Today, we're going to tear the bandages off. We're going to start asking the brutal questions. Who really killed Nigerian football? Why are we slaves to British football? And can we ever get our pride back? How do we reclaim our soul from this colonial mentality? No fear, no spin, no mercy tonight. This is not just about sports. This is about the soul of Nigeria. So as you are watching this, I want you to share this link. I want you to call your friends who are football lovers. Let's talk about it tonight. Because today, the bass is going to be very heavy. So let's get into it. Our irrational madness for foreign soccer, especially the English Premier League, while our own Nigerian football bleeds to death. But for the grace and the mercy and the expenses of people like Kunle Shoname and co, who are spending millions to try to revive it, our irrational madness for foreign soccer, especially the English variety, the Premier League, while our own Nigerian football bleeds to death. But before I get into my righteous tirade, allow me to first celebrate some of the Nigerian heroes who are still working hard to keep the candle of Nigerian football burning. You know, the first name to do is shout out to my buddy, my secondary school schoolmate, my friend, Otumba Kunle Shoname and the Remo Stars for winning the Nigerian Soccer League. Congratulations, buddy. I'm so proud of you every time I see you roll and spend your money on this intractable Nigerian soccer. I'm so proud of you. May the Lord continue to empower you. Kunle Shoname proves that when you invest properly, when you put structure, and when you put vision into the game, you can build greatness here on Nigerian soil. And we shouldn't let him fight the battle alone. We need more Kunle Shonames in this country. We have lots of people who love soccer and who have a lot of money. What are they doing? Alas, for every Kunle Shonaman that is out there. You all know that? For every Kunle Shonaman that is out there, there are millions of Nigerians, even governors, ministers, senators, and even presidents, yes, who have sold their football soul to England. On Saturdays and Sundays, Nigeria shuts down for Man U and Arsenal. The bars are full, the streets are empty. Grown men who can't even name 5 players in Ayimba FC or at Remo Stars are wearing Chelsea jerseys and screaming at DSTV screens like kids. Yet our own Nigerian Premier League stadiums are empty. Our players rot in obscurity here. That used to be the pride of the world. They come here to recruit our people. Our football academies are collapsing from lack of support. Even government officials who should be developing Nigerian sports, they shamelessly tweet about Liverpool, including our own sport ministers, shamelessly, without self-reflection. They post on, these are the people that are supposed to develop Nigerian sports. They talk about their love for foreign soccer. And they tweet about it. They talk about it on their Facebook without any shame. When it's their job to grow, we are talking about make Nigeria great again. This is part of it. The manga agenda that we are starting to push at Nigeria Lives Matter, it includes something like this. Our government officials shamelessly tweet Liverpool, Chelsea victories, but they cannot spend 30 minutes to watch a Nigerian league final. It is a sickness, my people. It's an epidemic of mental colonization, and we need to call it. Because today, I'm calling it out. I may even be part of the rot, but I'm calling it out anyway. I've never really been that big. Yes, I do have a club I support, but that's all madness. I don't have a Nigerian team I'm supporting. Maybe now I'm not a Remo Stars guy because they've won the title and my body is the owner. But maybe we all need to go back. We must call out our dangerous and irrational obsession with foreign soccer, especially the English Premier League, while our own Nigerian football is just dying right out there. And I raise this matter today under the urgent call of the Nigeria Lives Matter movement and our new campaign to make Nigeria great again, the manga agenda that I've been talking about on my show. Manga is real. Somebody's got to champion it. I'm not a politician. I'm not running for any election, but I believe in my country because that's the only one I have. I may have a blue passport here in America, but Donald Trump reminds me every day that this is not my country, that I need to go fix Nigeria. I need to join other people. I need to shout. I need to drag my politicians to make my country better so that I can be proud. Because make no mistake, a nation that abandons its own talents, its own dreams, its own heroes to worship foreigners is a nation committing slow suicide. For how long are we going to blame the colonial masters when we ourselves refuse to free ourselves of colonial mentality? When our streets are deserted because of Arsenal versus Man U, or because of Chelsea versus Liverpool, when our ministers and governors tweet more about Liverpool than Ayimba, when our youth wear Chelsea jerseys but cannot name their own local club captains, we're not just losing football, people. We are losing our soul. We are losing the spirit that can make Nigeria great again. And I'm committed to that. Manga, sports, especially football, is more than entertainment. It is a powerful tool for economic growth, national unity, youth empowerment, and international prestige. Yet, we have allowed our leagues to rot while we send billions of naira abroad to support foreign economies. We have our billionaires chartering planes, with all due respect, to go watch leagues in other countries, to go watch Super Bowls, private jets, but they won't go to Ayimba versus Remo Stars. See, this thing gives me some kind of nostalgia. Okay? When I think about us growing up, yes, I'm 16, I'm going to be 61 this year. But we do have some great nostalgia, even at my age, about when things were good in Nigeria. Some of the young ones today don't even know about all of this. So maybe I should take you along memory lanes a little bit before I come up with what I think should be the solution. I don't just talk for the sake of it. I believe in offering my own solutions. They don't have to buy it, but at least I'm offering something. But before we go there, let's talk nostalgia here. Let me take you back to when Nigerian football was a religion in Nigeria. Yes, those of you under 30, under 40, you may not even know that. But there was a time when Nigeria was great, when Nigerian football was a religion the same way our music is a religion for us now. The days of Enugu Rangers versus ICC Shooting Stars. When those two are playing, the whole of Nigeria shuts down. The rivalry of Iwanyanwu National versus Bendel Insurance. Heroes like Christian Shuku of blessed memory, Shegun Degbami, Rashidi Yakini of blessed memory, they walk on our streets like gods. I remember my very first stadium experience. I was just like 9 years. Baba Bisi, my uncle, took me to, it was a stationary store that was playing Enugu Rangers. It was like I was in heaven when I saw Aruna Lerica dribble and scored a goal. I won roll like that. It was late goal. In injury time, they call it Awon Role, and everybody started singing. Aruna da kunjowo, oge won lege sere. And my brother, that my uncle, Baba Bisi, put me on his shoulder. And it was like I was in heaven. That was Nigeria. You don't need to watch Arsenal to be excited about football in those days. You only needed to be alive when Enugu Rangers was playing ICC at Liberty Stadium. And you start to hear Lagos Salami, Bunsot, Bunsot. You start to hear people going crazy. Our stadiums were full. Our newspapers celebrated local stars. Our children dreamed of wearing Rangers jersey, not Manchester United. We were proud. We were united. So where did we go wrong, people? What went wrong? I'll tell you. This is a no-spin zone, so I'll call it. We allowed corruption, poor leadership, and neglect to kill our local leagues. Yes, corruption, poor leadership, bad politicians. We allowed our sports infrastructure to rot. You go to places like National Stadium, all those stadiums in Ibadan, you will weep for our nation. What happened? We allowed foreign worship to replace national pride. It's sad. It makes me sad. But the good news is we can take it back. We can reclaim our soul as a nation. So today, let me propose 7 bold and maybe controversial policies to rescue Nigerian football and restore our dignity. People might say, well, what are you doing about it? This is what I'm doing about it. Making suggestions. That's all I can do at this point. Some of us can make suggestions. Some of us can implement. Some of us can pass legislation. If all of us work together, the critics, the Elenulas like me, if we start talking too much, maybe some of our legislators will take some of these things serious. Maybe somebody will be inspired. Instead of chartering plane to go watch Super Bowl, maybe they might think, let me put some of this money. How much is it? To charter a plane, do you know how much it is? Some of us charter planes to go watch soccer in London every weekend. Maybe if you share the money for a whole season and put it in FC or you put it in ICC, maybe. So we all have a role to play. I know my role is that of a critic and a host of a show to just talk. But it's talk that we use to create the world. So the more we talk, the more things will happen. So don't tell me, oh, it's just talking. It is from talk that things start to happen. The more of us that need to talk, the more of us that talk, the more things begin to happen in our nation. So I have my own proposals for this. Of course, I don't know it all. I'm not even a big sports person. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not a big guy in this, so I may not have the best ideas to fix this. I just know that I feel embarrassed. I feel ashamed every time we are fighting in my groups, and all the fighting is about Premier League. Something's got to be done. So you may not like my proposals. Just chalk it up to ignorance and lack of knowledge. But at least I'm trying. I'm saying what I think. All of us can think about these solutions. So bring out your own. I bring out my own. Let everybody start coming up with their own ideas. And maybe we can reclaim our soul. Because sports is such a powerful instrument for national unity. When Rangers is playing, ICC, nobody cares. It's about your club. There are a lot of Yorubas who support Rangers against ICC. There's a lot of Igbos who support ICC against Rangers. I saw it. I was a big fan of Iwanyawu National. After stationery stores that my uncle, Baba Bisi, introduced me to, when I grew up and I decided I want my own team, it was Iwanyawu National I picked. And when they are playing ICC, I hate ICC people, even though they are Yoruba people. And that's how it was in those days. Why can't we go back there? And when Nigeria is playing, everybody's united. But what we have now, Premier League. So what can we do to reclaim our soul? I'm going to share my own. Number one, I call it my proposal number one. Mandatory development contribution from foreign clients. I don't want to talk about stuff that people are already talking about. I want to challenge with new, bold ideas. That's what I'm about. Here's the proposal. Foreign clubs signing Nigerian players should be asked to donate a fixed percentage of the signing fee to grassroots football development in Nigeria, either to the players' original academy or to a national youth football development fund in Nigeria. And why not? What's my justification? Nigerian academies and local clubs, they do the hard work of discovering and nurturing talents, but they get almost nothing when these players become stars abroad. So this policy will ensure sustainability and rewards the Nigerian football pipeline. Yeah, we are a pipeline for Europe. It's okay. As we develop our nation more, then we can create a pipeline to also go global. I have no problem with going global. I just have a problem with destroying the local base. If you harvest from our farm, then you must water our soil. It's as simple as that. It's nothing, whatever. If you harvest from a Nigerian talent, then you must water our soil. You don't have to like that proposal, but that's my proposal number one for our government, for our politicians who have no ideas, who say, okay, what do? We don't know. That's something to do. You can pass a legislation about that. You can introduce a bill in the Senate, and I hope my senators from Ogun State are hearing me, my legislators, my representatives, because I am coming for you. This is what we need to do. Number two, ban public officials from attending foreign club matches that is not involving Nigeria. Yes, sir. Yeah, don't tell me. Please don't even try that and say they have a right to go watch any game. No, they don't. We should ban all Nigerian public office holders, Mr. President, governors, senators, ministers, DGs, permanent secretaries, and any senior official from traveling abroad to watch foreign soccer matches unless Nigeria is participating in an international tournament like AFCON, World Cup, or the Olympics. But you can't just, as somebody who's seized with developing our nation, our sports, you can't just enter plane and go be watching Arsenal versus Man U, mostly with our money. You might be saying, what is he talking about? It is a disgrace. That's how I justify it. It's a disgrace and waste of public funds for leaders to prioritize foreign entertainment over national responsibilities. Leaders must set an example by supporting local sports. I want to see them in Raymond Stars games. I want to see them in Eyimba games. I want to see them in Kano Pillars if they still exist. I want to see them. Because if you love Arsenal that much, then resign and go become a full-time fan. Public service is not for fanboys, people, at least fanboys of other nations. You are supposed to model support for your local base. Don't tell me you have a right to watch any game you want. No, you don't. If you're a public officer, until Nigerian sports has been developed. Yes, I know that supporters will say, what do you mean? Fundamental right? Which fundamental right? When you are spending my money as a government official, you want to go be watching Arsenal and Man U when Eyimba of Aba cannot get a good field to play. No, no, no. Policy number 3. Yes, I told you they are bold proposals. They don't have to all be adopted, but it's something to kickstart us thinking outside the box, not all these tired ideas. We can put luxury tax on foreign soccer viewing in Nigeria. Yes, this is where tariff begin to come in here. Okay, introduce a luxury tax on DSTV subscriptions that is focused on foreign sports channels and on tickets for viewing centers that are showing only foreign matches, with proceeds directed to Nigerian sports development. I see Nigerians gathering in all these viewing centers all over the place to watch Man U and Chelsea and Arsenal that keeps losing at the end of every year. Sorry, Arsenal people, you don't have to dig you on that one. Okay, we should put a luxury tax on DSC on those viewing centers. What's my justification? Nigerians spend millions yearly on foreign football without growing the local game. A 10 naira tax on viewing tickets or 500 naira annual levy on special subscriptions could generate billions to fund our youth academies and stadiums. Yes. Put a 500 naira annual levy on every subscriber to DSTV, or put a viewing tax. I know that our state government will be very quick to be able to collect those ones. Just use it right. Why not? You can love Man U, but you must also pay a small fees to building Eyimba, Remo Stars, and Rangers. Yes, so that's an idea. Let's talk about it. Does it make sense? Do you think it's stupid? Make your comments. Or as we talk, as we discuss, as we fight, maybe things will begin to happen. I'm not saying I'm 100% right. You might think my idea is stupid. Say so in the chat. You might think it's a great idea, then support it. If you don't like any of my ideas, bring some of your own. And I'll be more than happy to trumpet it on my show if it's a great idea. Proposal number 4. I really like this one. Compulsory grassroots football funding by state government. Yes, I understand that this should be a sport, should be a private team, blah, 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 but you have to provide the enabling environment. So our state government should provide compulsory grassroots football funding to football in their state. Everything is now federal. Remember, I'm all about federalizing our agitation now. We have to stop looking at federal all the time. Our state governors, they keep collecting all this money. Like that one in my state, Dakwa Abiodun, who has been collecting money and wearing fine suits, but is doing nothing for our sports. So when I keep picking on him, people will say, why are you picking on this man? He's probably one of the most useless governors Ogun State has ever seen. I don't know about your own governor. Go hold your governor. What I'm saying here is that compulsory grassroots football funding by state governments. What does this mean? I'm saying we should mandate every state government to allocate minimum percentage of their annual budget, whether it's 0.5% or whether it's 1%, or I don't care, directly to grassroots sports development, including building mini stadiums, academies, and organizing youth tournaments. They don't have to build grandiose stadium like that one that our current president of the Senate went and spent the whole money of the state on when he doesn't even have up to 5,000 people playing soccer. That's not what I'm talking about. That one is a grand waste of money. That could have built small mini stadiums for maybe 10 local governments. The money that Akpabio spent in that so-called massive stadium that nobody is using. If you had built mini stadiums for different local governments, it would be of more benefit than putting a big white elephant there just to come and chop money. That's not what I'm talking about. Why do I justify this? True sports development starts from the grassroots. Without investment in local talents and infrastructure, Nigeria will continue exporting raw talents without developing a strong internal sports economy, which is what is happening. We are just exporting raw talents. We are not refining them locally the way we used to in the time of the first set, the set right after Stephen Keshi. Okay, they were already seasoned. Many of them before they went abroad, but now everybody can play little soccer. How they just want to first jackpot first, go and watch some plates, go and run around, spend years before they finally get discovered, rather than us developing our local talent where they would then come here the way they used to come and search, to come and beg for talent here. That's what they used to do. They come here to come and look for those to take abroad. But now what do? Our raw talents first escape because there is no hope for them here. And then they spend donkey years trying to make themselves known. You can't harvest champions from barren fields. We have to invest first and celebrate later. That's why we are not qualifying for Olympics anymore. How is it even possible that Nigeria will not even be qualifying for some of these events? And you are going to be getting Togo, Republic of Benin, all those people contesting, and we're not there. What the heck? And we want to just blame the coach. The coach alone cannot do the work if the infrastructural support is not there. If the grassroots growth is not there to give him the best, he can't do much. You can't go from zero to superstar. Again, you don't have to agree with my suggestions. But I'm thinking, and I'm making my own suggestion. You also think and make your own. In between all of that, maybe we'll find some ideas that are useful, that are practical. My policy number 5 recommendation: we should have a compulsory free to hear broadcast of Nigerian league matches. It is what people see that they're going to fall in love with. Most of our TV stations, they don't want to do that. They don't want to support our sports. They only want money. All those governors and politicians who are carrying money for them to run stuff about them. That's all they care about. We should have compulsory free-to-air broadcast of Nigerian league matches. There should be deals between the TV stations and the local and the local clubs. What is the proposal here? Make it mandatory for at least one major national television network to broadcast a minimum of 2 Nigerian league matches live every weekend, accessible to free-to-air to all Nigerians. That is how you create the desire. People cannot fall in love with what they don't see. People cannot fall in love with what the only thing that is only available on DSTV. It's not everybody that can afford DSTV. People cannot fall in love with what they cannot see. Visibility drives popularity. Consistent live broadcast will build a fan loyalty and attract corporate sponsorship to the National League. And things like our DSTV, they should mandate them that every weekend also, the number of matches they are showing of foreign clubs, they should show it. It's a national support. They cannot come and tell us that nobody is paying us all this big money. No, you have to grow it. If we can't see our heroes play, how can we ever learn to dream? No, let's be frank here. If they are bombarding the airways, okay, I know that the fields are bad, the players may not be as good as we think they should be, but if you see it enough, I'm a marketing person. If they show enough Nigerian soccer over the airwaves consistently, Nigerians will begin to develop a taste for Nigerian soccer. They'll begin to have their heroes again. They'll be able to have their own Mudashiru Lawal. They'll be able to have their own Aruna Lyrica of their own generation. Aruna Lyrica never played abroad, but was a household name. At least I still remember Baba Bisi. That's all the man talks about. He breeds the man. The minute he joins stationary stores. We all have our own Samuel Jebode, Adokia Mesimeka was my own because he plays with the left like I do. In River State, I forgot the name of his club now. You know, Adokia Mesimeka became a lawyer later. It is when you see them that they can become your hero. That's what happened with Premier League when DSTV kept bombarding us like about 6 channels every weekend is dedicated to Premier League on your DSTV. So you have no choice. It's either you are watching Arsenal versus Man U or you are watching Chelsea with Liverpool, or you are watching Barca, because that's what they are showing. There are no Nigerian soccer to compete. So for every channel where they carry a British league, they must carry Nigerian soccer, at least for a while. And then they can monetize that, because the more they show it, the more people are watching, then they can get adverts. So they can work out deals with the local clubs, pay them some money. You can't fall in love with what you can't see. So this proposal number 5 is very key. Let them show us an abundance of Nigerian soccer. Initially, we'll start laughing. I get it. We may laugh about the stadium. We may laugh about the workers. But eventually, gradually, we're going to fall in love with some of them. Like these Raymond Stars that I'm hearing great things about. This Kunle Shoname's a club. I hear the man is spending stupendous money, equipping them, making them look great. That's how it starts. Then it becomes competitive. If they're showing enough of Raymond Stars game on TV, and maybe they're beating everybody, eventually some people are going to get upset in the East and say, screw it. They spend money. Some people get upset in the North. That is how competition grows this thing. That's how it was. We had Kano Pillars. We have El Kanemi of Borno State. Who will have thought that Borno will go and look for a club? But they had a great one, El Kanemi, beating everybody at some point. Why? Because every part of the country wants their own clubs to be known. But what do we have right now? Our governor is pro Arsenal. The other governor is pro Man U. I don't know the one that our President Fola Tinubu supports, because he's more crafty. But we know Jonathan. How that one used to enter plane to go watch soccer of another country. But I'm going to leave that one there. This is not about politics. This is about what is good for Nigeria. My proposal number 6. We need to have more national honors for Nigerian football legends. I'm talking about younger ones, not just the means of this world. They've had their time. It is when you honor stuff that people want to position themselves to be honored. We have a lot of these young boys who are doing great stuff. The Oceans of this world, or the Osimhen of this world. I say Oceans in our own generation. The Osimhen, all those people, and some of them that maybe have not gone abroad, but they are doing great things in Nigeria. So I was very happy when I saw President Bola Tinubu Ahmed issuing a very heartfelt public congratulations to Raymond Stars. And some idiots are trying to say it's because they are Yoruba. If it is Igbo now, I'm like, you are stupid. Okay? Mr. President is recognizing something in our sports that puts in fact, my broadcast was inspired by that. I'll be honest with you. I was impressed when I saw the president talking about Raymond Stars. I'm like, whoa, I didn't even know they won anything. It was when I read it, Bayo Ononuga said something on Twitter, and I was like, whoa. Because when I saw that, oh, it's Kunle Shoname's team. I didn't even know that Kunle Shoname had a team. That's how ignorant I am about Nigerian soccer, like most of us. I'm like, oh, this is really nice. So Mr. President is actually recognizing this club for winning. And I saw some idiots making some very negative comments on that. I'm like, you must be idiots. And as I got inspired to do this, the president is trying to do his part. Let me and you do our part. Everything is not dragging. Everything is not tribalism. Sports is good for Nigeria. Recognizing those who won titles is good for Nigeria. Why can't we all celebrate that regardless of what we think about APC government? That's a whole matter for a different day. But on the day that we agree on a good thing, celebrate that. So thank you, Mr. President, for speaking and congratulating Raymond Stars. I don't care what the others say. I think it's a good step in the right direction. You now need to back it up by doing more of it. Don't do it only when they win a National League. There's so many things we can celebrate. Show up at some of these events, Mr. President. And then I will be your biggest fan in that area, because your presence inspires a lot. Because when you show up on a game, between Kano Pillars and Ikorodu, which was one of my friend, BK, my good friend, SAN, BK Ogala. God bless you, my brother. I know he's also been spending money on one club like that in Ikorodu somewhere. You know, we were all laughing at him at one point. I'm like, whoa, this guy is doing something great. He's spending his money. Supporting. So if Mr. President, for instance, were to show up, I don't know whether they are Ikorodu pillars or what they call them. Imagine the president showing up there. Imagine the attention that it brings to that soccer. Imagine the president mandating his VP. Who doesn't have work, Shetima. Let him go and be representing him in soccer events. Or mandate that the Minister for Sports, every weekend, you must attend one of these Nigerian things and recognize people. Get people to be recognized from that. This is how we begin to create the appetite for our own food. It is what your mother gives you that you are going to love. Forget that one. They are talking about the roads are not good. The stadium is not good. This one is not that. It is because we are not seeing enough of it. We are not shoving it in our face. When it comes to national honors, and you start honoring some people that we don't even hear about yet, but who are local legends in their own right, who have done great work. Maybe the person that scored the highest goal, or the person that is the best MVP for the league. You bring him out among all those big awards that you are giving. It will make people ask questions. It will create an affinity for all of us to begin to celebrate this. Or Mr. President wearing the T-shirt of Raymond Stars. And if the Igbos are going to complain, wear the one of Eyimba for them too. It's okay. At least hopefully they win. Maybe when they win something. Because you have to win something before Mr. President will wear your T-shirt. So it's not tribalism. Let's give national honors to our football legends. But I'm talking young ones, not just the old ones. They already got more than award. Odegbame has gotten plenty. But let's celebrate the ones that are around now so that people can ask questions. And my 7th policy proposal here, we should have mandatory retention of economic rights by local clubs. Now I'm talking as a lawyer now. We should have mandatory retention of economic rights by local clubs. What does this mean? What do I mean here? What am I trying to say here? In other words, we should mandate that all Nigerian clubs transferring players abroad must retain a minimum 5% future sell-on right in the player's contract. Other countries do it. You have what is called a future sell-on right in the player's contract, ensuring that those clubs benefit from future transfers of the player that they trained. That's how this thing works. That's how you do it. That's how it's done in the US. That's how other countries develop their own local clubs. Why am I justifying this? Because without this protection, Nigerian clubs will lose out completely once their players rise in value abroad. Once they take them on, Nigerian clubs lose out. They don't get anything back. Retaining sell-on rights provides long-term income to strengthen local football clubs financially. In other words, they sell him abroad. The next time they're transferring him again, there should be something that is coming locally. If it's in the contract, they will have to honor it. If we insist that that has to be in contract signed by Nigerians. International law will back us up. After all, if you raise the lion cub, you deserve a share when it becomes the king of the jungle. Oh yeah, when you raise a lion cub and it grows up and then it becomes the king of the jungle, you also deserve a share of that. That's all I got, at least for now. Those are 7 ideas on the table. You can say they make no sense to you. You can say that this is just a man talking theory, but theory is where we start. Atomic bomb started with a theory in the head of Albert Einstein. It didn't start in a laboratory. Or Olafidale Aye is from sharing ideas that things will become practical. And people like us who run shows, all we can do is bring ideas. And if enough of us are doing that, imagine where we are going to be 2 years from now. There are those who talk like me. There are those who do. There are those who execute. There are those who pass laws. All of us have a role to play. None of them is worse off or better than the other. We have different roles. The important thing is for us to play our roles well, and I'm doing my own part. My people, if we don't love, respect, and build our own, who will build it for us? The English Premier League will not build a stadium in Enugu for us. Liverpool will not set up youth academies in Kano. Chelsea will not create jobs for Nigerian coaches. No matter how much we shout about Arsenal, they're not going to come and develop our local league for us. This is our fight. This is our future. This is our pride. Let us wake up and save Nigerian football before it dies completely. That is why I'm shouting today. We have a great opportunity to begin to talk about this among ourselves. If you are just watching the show, we are talking about Nigeria's dangerous love affair with English and Spanish soccer. How Arsenal, Liverpool, Man U, and Chelsea stole our nation's soul, and how we can get it back. Because whether we acknowledge it or not, this is stealing the soul of our nation. It is time to make Nigeria great again. It's our pride. It is our talent. It's our Nigeria. This land is our inheritance, no matter how many blue passports they give us. And we must make it great again. Today, not tomorrow, not someday, but start now. Because if not us, then who? If not now, then when? The call to duty to make Nigeria great again is not for the next generation. I refuse to concede that. It is for those of us who are alive today, whatever our age, 60, 70, 40, 20, 30. That's our responsibility. Nigeria must rise again, and it must start with us. Manga, make Nigeria great again. Our pride, our talent, our time. Nigeria first, Nigeria always. And that is my rant for today. And I'm excited that on Thursday or so, I'm going to be having a hot seat with 3 of some of the best commentators in Nigerian sports, so that we can unpack all of this in a Q&A session. I'm going to be hosting them to a hot seat. You don't want to miss that. On Thursday, 4 p.m. Nigerian time, we will all gather here and we will talk about how to salvage our soul from the English Premier League. Until that time, please share this video. Make your comments. Your comment matters. We don't know who's going to come up with the best ideas. In other words, the smartness of a child, the smartness of the old person, that is how they built a great civilization in Ife. Why can't we do the same in Nigeria? That's why you must comment. Even if it's to talk against what I had to say. It don't matter, it's a conversation. Put your thoughts on paper. Put your thoughts on the record so that at least it can be said you spoke your own in your generation. And your leaders will either run with it or not. My name is OpeBanwo. You have just been watching OpeBanwo Unscripted, Unplugged, and Live. But before I go, I want to play you one of my favorite songs I just did for Nigeria with my AI musician. It's called Beautiful Nigeria, to keep reminding ourselves how beautiful our nation is. I hope I can find that song because our nation is so beautiful. It is us and our leaders that are messing it up, and we can do better. We should do better. Hear this, Muguland the Beautiful. I decided to use an acronym called Muguland so that I can be free to say what I need to say about my country. Muguland the Beautiful. Here you go.
Where the harvest grow wide, the envy of nations with blessings worldwide. Sunshine that warms us, no frostbite in sight. Our weather's a gift in the day and the night. Brains that amaze and hearts full of fire. The world sees our talent, we rise even higher. We build and we shine, no challenge too tall. Mugulanders rise, we conquer it all. Muguland, beautiful, shining through the rain. From the mountains to the seas, we rise again. With our land so green and our hearts so true. Muguland, the beautiful, all eyes on you. Resilient we stand, through storms we smile. Every hardship we face, we rise in style. Over 250 tribes with a culture so rich. Born from the past where traditions stitch the riches below. From oil to gold, natural wonders that never grow old. From diamonds to gas, we've been truly blessed. The world looks to Muguland for the best. Muguland, beautiful, shining through the rain. From the mountains to the seas, we rise again. With our land so green and our hearts so true. Muguland, the beautiful, all eyes on you. Our food tells a story, from jollof to stew. Pepper soup that warms and fufu too. A taste of our land in every bite. The world craves our flavors both day and night. We laugh through the pain, our spirits don't break. With joy in our hearts and love that we make. Muguland's a treasure for all to behold. A future so bright, a story untold. Muguland, beautiful, shining through the rain. From the mountains to the seas, we rise again. With our land so green and our hearts so true. Muguland, the beautiful, all eyes on you. Muguland, the beautiful, shining through the rain. From the mountains to the seas, we rise again. With our land so green and our hearts so true. Muguland, the beautiful, all eyes on you.
Awesome. That's it for today. I'll see you on another show. God bless you. Let's keep making Nigeria great again. It's up to you and I to make Nigeria great again. Manga. And I will see you